Hello, and welcome to Steampunk Abyss, Devlog number 14. So for those of you that have been watching, I'm going to be changing up the way I'm numbering these. The ones that aren't about Steampunk Abyss and are about other topics will no longer be called Devlogs. And for the Devlogs, I'm not going to be on video, but for the other ones, I still will be. Also, for those of you that don't know, this week I got to participate in Ludum Dare. It's a big kind of game jam. I participated in compo mode, and I'm going to be doing a video later this week on how that went and what I was able to do. So look forward to that bonus video. Steampunk Abyss is a dungeon crawling roguelite with bullet hell combat elements that is focused on loot and crazy weapons and even crazier mods. We added a tutorial finally. Now for those of you that are returning players, you may have to reset your progress to access it. I'm working on a fix to that, but that hasn't been added yet. Now, the hub area is where you're going to probably see the most changes. We've added a lot of new tiles. We've added a lighting system. As you can see down here, we've got a barrel. I put this here for testing purposes to kind of show off some new behaviors. We had these in some of the previous updates. However, now they can be rolled at enemies. We still don't have graphics for it or anything. I also changed the way you can enter the Abyss. Now you can just enter it without interacting by simply bumping into the stairs. I've added a couple of new mechanics and traps to the Abyss since then. This is one of the newest ones. It's an electric pad that slows you down. Now we did just barely get some new graphics for this ready. They're not in the current available build, which is why it's the placeholders right now. Now for those of you that were paying attention, you might have seen that little shield that popped up while dashing. That's a new mechanic I've been working on. It's called the Dash Shield. Basically, it allows you to, for a short time, avoid damage while dashing. If you use it all, it has a slightly longer cooldown period than if you use it in a short burst. And as you can see, that bar appears and starts recharging. Once that's recharged, you can use it again. And there'll be upgrades to that available through the store as you play, so that you can increase the time and how fast it cools down and those kinds of things. It can help you get out of some of those situations that you occasionally get in where there's no real optimal path. So I've also added about 20 new mods and the status system. As you can see here, certain statuses can be found as mods. There's about 20 new mods since the last devlog. Most of them are status. There's also some that are, for example, shotguns, ones that make it so your gun turns into multiple round bursts. There's a bunch of new status effects. Most are working now. Getting stuck on corners is less common. It's not impossible, but it happens far less than it did before. Right now we're only seeing one enemy type. That's because I did introduce a basic leveling system. I'm still working on the curve. Right now I think it's too slow to unlock new enemies, which is unfortunate because there's a couple of enemies I want to show you today. I'm going to show you the sprites we have for them and kind of describe their behaviors. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to them for the purposes of this devlog, just because of time constraints. The mage is what I'm calling it for now, is a robot that can teleport around the abyss and can shoot bullets that pass through walls. I've added a new trap that's also kind of an enemy. It's a tower where you have to approach it and turn off the tower by pressing its button that's near it. So you have to kind of weave your way through, and it fires in a rotating pattern that changes up randomly. Additionally, I've added my first variant enemy for the big boy. They're pretty rare. They're the bigger enemies, and these ones have a kind of Gatling gun where every third bullet will pass through walls. New generation. It still has some bugs, obviously. But it makes it so it's more rooms than hallways. I've also fixed boss 1, so you can now actually win boss 1. I've changed the patterns that it will be taking. So the laser stage, I decided that it wasn't working out. It wasn't very fun to play. So instead I ended up buffing the arms stage. I actually debuffed it too. So now the arms are a little bit weaker, or a lot weaker than they used to be, so that they're easier to destroy. And now, instead of the laser stage, I added the electric pads that you've been seeing, that trap. There's a special boss variant where the room is divided into basically 4 parts, and at any time, one part will be electrified, and one will be the next one to be electrified. So you can kind of see which one is going to be coming. That way you can kind of navigate around. It forces the player to move during the fight, which I find is more entertaining. I also finished the win condition finally, so now you can actually win the boss and make it to the next stage, which will be the ghost town. We do have a few basic tiles in there. That one will be a dark level. I've got a few screenshots I'll put up real quick. So as you can see in this level, it's going to be dark, and the player will have a light, and I'm going to be adding some stuff unique to the lighting to change up the gameplay a little bit for that level. So that's all the major changes I've made. I made a ton of bug fixes and a couple minor balancing patches. I've made loot more common, and I'm actually going to be doing that again this Wednesday. I'm going to be increasing the drop rate, especially for the blueprints, as currently I feel that it's not generous enough, and mods will also be getting a buff, both in time that the effects last and with drop rate. So if you want a full extensive list of the patch notes, you can come by our Discord. If you drop by the Discord, every Wednesday I put up a new build with the patch notes. There you can kind of follow along. You can play along with our open beta. Join the Discord, and we hope to see you there. That's about it for this devlog. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.